Hey, it's Angie, and this is episode 45 of the Artist to Artist podcast. This episode is for the artists who feel like they're doing everything right, they're showing up, they're posting, they're improving, but the bookings still aren't coming in. Today, we're getting into what visibility really means, how to actually build trust with clients, and why momentum in this career takes way longer than you think. Let's start with what visibility really means, because I talk about this a lot in other content on this podcast, on social. Visibility isn't just posting something on Instagram once a week. It's showing that you're active in your market or in your local industry. It's sharing your work online and putting yourself out there through networking, assisting, reaching out to people, saying yes to creative opportunities, different opportunities that will really help you build experience. It's about being physically and digitally present so that people actually know you exist. But here's the catch: you can be visible and still not be booking. Why? Because being seen in this career, in this profession that we've all chosen, sometimes isn't enough. Your social media content has to align with what people want to hire you for. If your niche isn't clear, or your photos that you're posting or the content that you're posting feels off, or your style doesn't match what's in demand in your market, people will not be reaching out to you for work. Sometimes the work you're sharing might look fine to you, but the taste level just isn't there yet. Or maybe your captions are vague, your location or what you do isn't very obvious. Maybe you're not showing enough examples of your work on different skin tones or in real world settings. These are all things that can kind of break trust with potential clients. So let's talk about the kind of content that actually builds visibility that leads to paid work. Your audience really needs to know where you're based, what type of makeup you do, who your work is for, what to expect when they book you. And you have to keep telling your audience this over and over and over again, because people have a very short attention span. Trust me on this. If you look at my Instagram, it's not just a mix of like cute photos. It's really a stream of natural makeup looks on different skin tones shown in different ways, photo, video. There are behind the scenes clips. I have unedited videos, content from set. I have work that shows up across multiple types of clients. It is very clear on my personal Instagram who I work with and the type of work that I specialize in. So if you are only posting one or two looks on, or let's say glam looks on friends with perfect skin and nothing else, that's not going to be enough. If you're wondering why people aren't reaching out, it could be that they don't know what you specifically would do with them. They're kind of scrolling and thinking, would this artist know how to work on me in the style that I want, on my skin tone, with my skin issues? You need to show them over and over and over again that you can. And that leads me to my next point. Let's talk about trust. Clients do not need your work to be flawless. They need it to feel real. When a client looks at your feed, whether it's through a referral, whether they see a post on social media, they are going to be asking themselves, would I feel comfortable in this chair or hiring this person? Does this artist look like someone I can trust with my face or with my job or with whatever it is? And does it look like they have the skills that kind of align with the taste level that I'm looking for? This type of trust with potential clients is built through consistency. If they see 5 different makeup looks in 5 different lighting setups and it all feels cohesive, then they can kind of trust your eye and trust that you have experience. If your work is polished, well lit, repeatable, you can see your personal style starting to come out of some of the posts that you're sharing. You're showing that you have taste, you have a specific aesthetic, you know how to make models and real people look good in real life. That's the type of stuff that is going to be booking clients. We know what builds trust, but there's also things that you could be doing that are breaking trust with your clients. And that is when you're posting overly retouched images, makeup that does not suit the model's features. Not everything that we work on is going to be suitable for our social media, and that's okay. I don't post, I would say 70% of the looks I do, and that is on purpose. So it's okay if you don't post every single thing you do. You still have to remember you are running a business and you are in charge of your marketing and your brand online. So it's okay if you don't post everything. If you're posting inconsistent quality, and by that I mean sometimes by luck, maybe your photos are good, but most of them are maybe not good. And what's a good photo? Decent crop that makes sense, not a lot of stuff going on in the background, really good lighting, images in focus, all that basic stuff. And sometimes for newer artists specifically, there's just not enough content for clients to get a sense of your style. And when I say clients, it could mean a bridal client, it could mean a special event client, it could be a producer, photographer, director. So clients kind of encompasses all of those different types of people. Even if your work is technically good, and I do see this a lot, but the vibe of your social media or website, let's say, feels kind of off. If something looks confusing or if something doesn't look consistent, people will not message you. And sometimes the issue is that the first impression of your social or your website isn't strong enough. I think what has helped me the most with building long-term trust with potential clients, whether that be a bride or let's say a photographer, I repeat the same message over and over again. I'm known for natural makeup applications. I show it on video. I show it in stills. I show it on different faces. I show it behind the scenes when I'm doing natural makeup. I talk about it. I explain it. And because I've repeated that message for years, people trust me and will come to me with that type of work. I have been called boring many times throughout my career. Boring pays the bills for me, so I'm going to continue to be boring. And some of the looks that I do, even though they are natural, they don't really line up with my aesthetic. So yes, it fits almost all the boxes that I need to check off, but if it doesn't fit with my aesthetic, I won't post. If your goal is to book more work or start booking work, period, you have to focus on repetition and relevance, not just creativity or proving that you can do all of these different makeup styles. We can't have this episode without talking about momentum. So many artists expect really fast results. They expect to graduate from makeup school and the next week be employed. We live in a world also too where on social media everything looks instant, but building a real career takes time. This is another message I have repeated over and over again on this podcast, in my content on Artist to Artist. This is a business, and businesses do not grow overnight. I wish they did. I really wish they did, but they don't. If you're doing the right things, you're building your skills, you're posting consistently, you're networking, learning, you still need time. In most cases, it's, I would say, a 3 to 5 year process before your work and your reputation that you're building really pays off, pays dividends. So that first 3 to 5 years can be really rough. It can seem like it's taking forever, but in my experience, and this was with myself personally, a lot of my friends who are in the business, it was after that first kind of, I'll say 3 to 5, where you're just doing everything you can, trying to practice, working, whenever you can, taking on creatives, you're doing all of the things. That's the amount of time we're looking at here to really build a network, and to build a network in which you start to see results, meaning you're getting paid. If you're comparing yourself to someone further along, please remember you have no idea how many years it took them to get there. You don't know their financial situation. You don't know how much free work they did. You don't know who referred them, who they know. So stop assuming you can get the same results with less time and less output because someone on social media tells you you can. The makeup industry is a long game, and it rewards people who show up over and over again. So you kind of just have to keep going and continue putting in that work and effort, and you will get a return from that. If you are not seeing bookings yet, you have to ask yourself, are you actually speaking to your market, the area that you work in? Are you showing enough of your work? Are you consistent? Are you evolving your taste? And if the answer to any of these is no, then you have to start there. If what I have just said to you hit home and it's making you think, well, what could be wrong with the work that I'm putting out? Do I really know my market? What do you mean by taste level? What's wrong with my social media? Like, what can I do differently? This is all of the stuff that you learn from having a mentor. And if you're like me, you may not have a mentor. You might be here listening to this because you're needing some mentorship. This is what Artist to Artist is. If you're looking for that regular support, feedback, lessons, resources to help you build your career, and you want to do this week by week with me, this is why I created the Artist to Artist membership. It is 20 Canadian dollars a month, and it is packed with so much value. I wanted to tie this in to this episode because I want to let you know what we're covering for the rest of the year in the membership, so that if you have a lot of these unanswered questions that fit into all of the things that I talked about, all of the reasons why you're maybe not getting booked, you might be able to find your answers in the membership, because I do believe the membership is so valuable for makeup artists in that that 0 to 5 year time span of their career. So if you're just getting started, and 0 could be you're in school or you just graduated school, and that 3 to 5 year, you could be part-time, full-time in those first 5 years of your career, the membership is designed for you. For June, I'm going to be going over confidence and really working on your mindset, how to handle imposter syndrome, self-doubt, and really find your style. And sometimes that imposter syndrome really prevents us from posting on social. So we're going to work on that. July is more of a boot camp. I'll be talking about skin prep, foundation, basic eye looks, color theory, building your kit if you're just starting as a pro, all of that stuff. August, we'll be talking about portfolio and branding. So how to shoot your work, build a portfolio, create a brand that really is going to get you booked. September, exciting time. Business basics. I figured back to school, kind of fresh start for a lot of people. If you have kids, you might have more time on your hands. Business basics will be happening in September. Policies, email templates, all of that stuff that will make you look like a pro. We're going to be dealing with that in September. October, on the job skills, what to do on set, how to manage time, what to pack, how to stay calm under pressure. November, all about networking and growth so you can prepare for 2026. Oh my gosh. How to get assisting gigs, find mentors, grow your bookings through real relationships. That is going to be the focus of November. December is going to be nice because we're going to do some reflection, goal setting for the new year, talk about what you've achieved this year, what's next, and how to keep moving forward without burnout. Maybe some of you are going to be pivoting your businesses next year. I know I am. So I'll be sharing that with you in the month of December. So in the membership, you're going to get weekly lessons. You'll get fuller pieces of content, shorter content for those of you who have a shorter attention span and just need quick info, templates I share, so much more. It's really designed for newer makeup artists who want to feel supported and make actual progress without being overwhelmed and without the pressure to have to contribute and join in every week. Like, this is a very low pressure situation. You can join anytime. I will link you to the membership in the show notes. That is it for today. And if this episode helped shift your perspective, please send it to someone else who might need to hear it as well. And if you're ready for more structure, support, and behind the scenes of my life and how I built my career, you can check out the membership. That is everything for this episode, and I will see you next Tuesday.